So I was lying in my bed thinking about the good things in life, not paying taxes of course, and I realized something important. If I am barely making any money and still have to pay taxes, and since the government is pretty greedy, a 10-year-old with thousands of dollars in prize money and money gained from trading is bound to have to pay a large amount of taxes. So as a man of science, and totally not craziness and derangement, I have decided I must figure out how much taxes Red owes at the end of Pokemon Red. So without further ado, this is how much taxes Red owes the big man in the sky. Before we continue, I just need to say one thing. Okay, two things. I'm an American who went to public school, and I'm 100% not an accountant. I'm probably the exact opposite of an accountant, so just please keep that in mind. Before we get on to my sleep-deprived research, I have to lay out some assumptions I've made. Number 1. This is based on not using any abilities that give you more money like Payday, and the Elite Four only being beaten once, so pretty standard playthrough of Pokemon Red. Number 2. Red hasn't used any write-offs, which is when you write off expenses that a business or individual has, and then deduct that amount or a fraction of that amount from your taxable income. Basically, you're taking your expenses and you're making it so you can get less taxes. Number 3. Red hasn't found any loopholes, which is something I'm officially saying is bad and you shouldn't do. And with that taken care of, let's get on to the numbers. In Pokemon Red, there are two main ways to get money: winning battles and selling goods. This is because putting your life savings on Red doesn't exist yet, so you gotta get your money a more boring way. Starting off with winning battles. I think Game Freak knew I was going to make this video and decided that they were going to create the most convoluted, confusing way to calculate how much prize money you get from certain trainers just to spite me. And here's what it is. Essentially, each trainer type has a specific base value. For example, Bug Catcher, it's 10. You then multiply that value by the level of the Pokemon that was sent out last. Not the highest level, not the lowest level, but the level of the Pokemon sent out last, which changes based on which Pokemon you have, which Pokemon they have, and then sometimes just pure luck. But you may be thinking, wow, that's actually a really cool way that they could add new variety to their already extremely unique game so that every single playthrough is not exactly the same. But I was also blinded by their extreme awesomeness and complexity of the system, only to have that adoration ripped out of my soul when I had another shocking realization. Not only does the Pokemon protagonist not pay taxes, which, go him, taxes suck, in different regions, different trainers have different base values, meaning one of two things. There's actually a more in-depth invested economic system in Pokemon that these base values are hinting at. I mean, in Pokemon X and Y, is the Lumiose economy struggling because the black belts on Lumiose streets give out significantly less money? Are male swimmers just less generous or profitable than female swimmers? And then what happened between Gen 7 and 8 that youngsters are now giving away 3 times as much money? And was Social Security instituted between generations 2 and 3 because now the base value for gentlemen increased by roughly 3 times and has been constant thereon? Or Game Freak has just been putting in random numbers and then just seeing what happens. And honestly, I can't blame them. I do that all the time with my homework. However, regardless of the reason, the amount of money you get from a trainer is dependent on an innate value that they have and the level of the Pokemon that they sent out last. So for the sake of getting a higher estimate, I'm assuming that Red earned the most money from every single Pokemon trainer battle. And I know you guys probably hate math as much as I do, so I linked all of this math in a spreadsheet in the description. There are 325 trainers that you can encounter in Pokemon Red, and with each one giving the max amount of reward money, you will have made 316,213 Pokédollars. The next way that Red can get money is by selling items. The only way to achieve the highest amount of money gained through selling is by having the Wolf of Wall Street constantly playing in the brain rot classes, finding all of the secret items, getting all of the TMs, and then selling every single one of them. Red will have to become a frequent guest on Pawn Stars as he sells all of his found items, but he's doing it to get the bag, so it's worth it. There are about 40-ish something TMs that you can get without spending any money, and then a long list of hidden items that you can find in Pokeballs in nature that you can then sell. Now wait, I can already smell some of you guys thinking about the TMs that are only able to be gotten from the casino. While it is true that what Sun Tzu said, you gotta spend money to make some money, he's wrong in this case. You can pick up coins at the casino for free, and if you are lucky enough, you can gamble and then get TMs 15, 23, and 50 absolutely free. No input for your own money. It's incredibly unrealistic, but it is possible. I mean, that's what gambling's for. Each item has its own unique price, and if you are curious, all of the items are shown in the math spreadsheet linked in the description. And if you manage to sell all of the found items, you will have made 118,150 Pokédollars, which brings the total money potentially made by Red to be 434,363 Pokédollars. Which, by following the yen to USD conversion rates, because yen is the currency used in Pokemon, Ren will have made around, drumroll please, $2,800, which is enough for a month's rent of this in New York City. Okay, slight change of plans. Remember this rule from before? This is based on not using any abilities that give you more money, like Payday, and the Elite Four only being beaten once. Yeah, we're completely throwing that out the window. We're gonna need to fight the Elite Four more than once if we want to make more money. So, instead of how much taxes you would owe if you beat Pokemon Fire Red, I'm gonna find out how much in taxes does the Pokemon protagonist owe if he made a career off being a Pokemon trainer. From Pokemon Sun and Moon, we know that 24 hours in-game is 24 hours in real life, because when it was day in real life, it was day in-game, and the same with night. If we assume that the Pokemon protagonist is having a 40-hour work week, because we care about work-life balance, Red will be working 2,080 hours throughout an entire year. According to this website, it takes on average 27 hours to beat Pokemon Red, and since we beat every trainer and got every single TM, I'm going to round that up to 30. So in the first 30 hours of working, Red has accumulated 434,363 Pokédollars, or exactly 2,806 US dollars. But now it'd be more appropriate if Red was working as a teacher, because they're about to receive a massive pay cut. After the first 30 hours, the only real way to continue to keep getting money is to re-challenge the Elite Four over and over and over again, which means Red will be having the most boring job, because for 8 hours a day, for 5 days a week, for 52 weeks a year, he will be fighting the Elite Four. Oh wait, did I say pay cut? Well, I actually meant a pay raise, because fighting the Elite Four actually gives you a lot of money, roughly around 30,000 Pokédollars, or 193 US dollars. And from all of my search on YouTube of Pokemon Red Elite Four beating videos, times ranged anywhere between 15 minutes to 25 minutes. So I'm going to split that right down the middle and say an average of about 20 minutes per Elite Four run is fairly reasonable. Plus, we're going to add in another 5 minutes to go back to the Poké Center and restock on everything you need to do, which would have Red beating the Elite Four 2.4 times every hour, making 72,000 Pokédollars or 465 US dollars per hour, which if we take the remaining 2,050 hours Red would be working after the initial beating of the Elite Four, minus 80 hours for vacation time, because once again, we care about work-life balance, Red would be making 141,840,000 Pokédollars, or roughly $900,000 plus the original 2.8 thousand for a grand total of still 900,000 US dollars. We now have the total income of Red, which means now we gotta find out how much taxes they owe. But now you may be asking, Caleb, where are you gonna calculate the taxes from? Because based on if you're from like Nebraska, which for my non-American viewers is in the middle of nowhere, America, or if you're in Japan, you're gonna have vastly different taxes. So I decided I'm going to calculate the taxes Red owes based on if he was in Japan, Texas, Florida, New York, and California. And so this is so we can get a wide range of taxes. So without further ado, let's get to the math. If Red made 141,840,000 Pokédollars, or yen a year, he will have to pay roughly 44% of that income in taxes, or about 63.7 million yen. Which surprisingly, this could be even higher. This is only accounting for income tax, national surtax, and unemployment and health insurance. So if there's any other taxes, that can go way up. And if Red based his taxes out of the US, with a salary of 920,000 USD, he would have to roughly pay 47% of their income, or 435,182 US dollars in California, 36% of their income, or 327,498 US dollars in Texas or Florida, and 43% of their income, or 394,607 US dollars in New York. And judging based off these tax sheets of Red, he's paid absolutely no taxes. Oh, that's why he's always on the run. He's running away from the IRS! Anyways, if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next videos. I'm going to be posting every other Friday at exactly 1 p.m. Pacific time, so mark it on your calendars. And with that, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later.